Oh, I love lights. I'm a big fan of lights. I think lights are fantastic. And you guys should love lights because lights is how you and I can make our videos just look a lot better.
I love lamp. Do you really love the lamp, or are you just saying it because you saw it?
I love lamp. I love lamp.
And today we're going to be looking at a new little light. And I've got a fair bit of these little RGB lights. You'll see I have a bunch of them up there. But this is a new one. This is a new one here from Pixel. And this one I think is fairly similar, but has at least one kind of cool addition to this light that kind of separates it from the others. And we're going to take a look at this, what comes in the box. We'll take a look at their Amazon listing to see what the price is right now and see if we think it's worth the money. Coming right up. Amazon listing shows right here about $70 US. So $69.99 right now. Now for those of us that live in Canada, of course, you can get it from Amazon.com. You will see here that you have to pay a little bit of shipping and import fees. I will see if I can find this actual light on Amazon.ca and some of the other Amazons, and I'll put them down below as I usually do for you guys. But right now it's getting 44 ratings, 4.5 stars, which is great. If we look at the specs of this light, it says an upgraded RGB video light, 360 full color LED camera, dimmable 2500 through 8500 Kelvin, portable pocket light, and built-in 3200 milliamp rechargeable battery. Now, one of the things that they don't talk about on here is this, and hopefully you guys can see it. It's this little piece right here. It's this little swing arm that comes out, which allows you to be able to mount this off to the side of the camera, which I think is actually a very cool little bonus for those of us that are looking at getting, maybe this is our first little RGB extra light. If this is well built and something that attaches nice and easy, this could be a huge addition for those of us that want to be able to mount this to our cameras. And of course, normally it would sit right on top of where the cold shoe is, but now we can get it off to the side and also hopefully still have room to put like our microphone, which now one-stop shop, which would be cool. So here it is right here, the RGB video light. It's just a white box, nothing overly exciting. On the back, it does have all those little specs. So it talks about 1500 lux, 2500 to 8500 Kelvin, of course. It's a 12 watt power, etc., etc. I'm not going to go through all the specs. You guys hopefully will be able to see it here. So if you feel like pausing your screen on this, have at her. It's up to you. You know what? I'm not your boss. I could be. I don't want to be. I don't want to be. You be you. Do your own stuff. Anyways, this is it. Pause it if you feel like it. What comes in the box? I have no idea. Let's open it up. I do like the fact that the packaging is simple. I'm definitely not someone that needs to see extravagant packaging on their boxes. I always feel that if the packaging is simple, they've saved some money somewhere, and the hope is that they are passing that savings on to you and I. Well, at least that's the hope. Maybe they're just pocketing more money. I don't know. Anyways, here's the box. Let's crack it open. Put that over there so you guys can see how big it is, because you can't really tell on their website how big it is. So here it is in regards to my hand. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So it's about my hand size. Here's an iPhone 7 Plus, so you guys get an idea of its size in comparison to a smartphone. So that's kind of cool. I do really like the fact in this light, just before we go into it in detail, that they do have these toggle switches here. One of the things that a lot of the lights that I have reviewed previously is all the controls for the lights are on the back. And because of that, you have to be on the back side of the light constantly to be able to play around with it. If I want to change the brightness, I have to go around to the back, or I have to try to fumble while the light is shining at me to try to figure out where the buttons are. And that's quite difficult. Because this could be used, especially like a vlogging light, something that sits on camera, the camera may be pointed at you. So being able to access this dial from the front where I can move this up and down, I didn't even realize that was a thing, to be honest with you. But that's fantastic. I really like the fact that these are accessible from the actual front of the light. Super smart. That's well thought out for sure. You can see the dial goes all the way around, which is great. So that means you have access to it front and rear. The set button, again, it's not on the back. They've actually put it on the side. So from the front or the rear, you and I can easily push that. So from here, it's just a push on the side. From the rear, push on the side. Again, smart in their layout. That's really, really nice. And on the back, we have, this is the G1s from Pixel. Very cool. USB-C for charging, and that's that USB down here. And here's the actual little slide arm, nice and tight. It does look like it's an Allen key, so if you feel like tightening that up even more, get that out. And what's cool about this, of course, two things. It's almost like its own little mini cage because you have a couple 1/4-inch ports if you want. You do have a cold shoe, so you can fit this onto your camera, especially if you have an existing, let's say, cage or something like that, or you have an adapter. Now, I wonder if it has an adapter in here as well. Curious now. But you have a little cold shoe, so you can put your mic right there. Plus, if you have any other devices that just go in via a 1/4-inch, you have that there. And the camera itself just sits out. Yeah, that's super smart. Even when it's back here. All the access, it's got a nice cutout here. So you have access to the USB-C port when this is folded up. Very well thought out. I like that a lot. All right, what else is in here? You get some silica gel, don't care. You get a little register for your warranty. It's a, let's see. Thanks for your purchase from Pixel. We're glad to add a 6-month warranty to your product to get a total of 18-month warranty. Just make sure you register. All right, very cool. And we get a user manual. So this is a nice fold-out manual. Because of that, it's larger, which is great. And that means that our fonts are gonna be a decent size, which they are. So very cool. That's a whole bunch of, all right. I like that a lot. You get a little case. Nothing super fancy, but it's enough to be able to put your light in. So I'm okay with that. That's great. I'm glad that they gave us a case. A lot of companies don't. We got our USB-A to USB-C cable. Looks like a decent size. My guess is probably about 1 foot or 2. Nothing too crazy. Oh, we do. Look at that. They do give us the little adapters. So there's your cold shoe to 1/4-inch. So that's what you can mount on the bottom. As well as you get a little tiny ball head. So if you want to put that on, let's say, a tripod to get into this, they give you everything. You're ready to go. You don't need any kind of extra adapters. And what's funny about this, 69 bucks, you can buy these, for instance, these little tiny adapters. These will easily cost you on Amazon, probably like 15, 20 bucks each. That could be $30 to $40 worth of little tiny adapters that you and I don't have to buy that come with it. Oh yeah, that's super happy because it doesn't, I don't think it says that anywhere that it comes with these little adapters. So that's a huge win. Super happy with that. And you get a case, win. And you get a USB-C cable. That's awesome. But the fact that it actually just charges with USB-C, super happy because that's what everything should be using nowadays. All right, so here it is right here. We hopefully have a charge in here. We don't know. We have a power button at the top. I'm not sure if this is a push or a slide. I'm gonna say it's a slide. So it is, and currently I'm out of battery. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna charge this and I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay guys, so I'm back and it's been about, I say about 45 minutes that I've been letting this charge. So I'm gonna unplug this right now. It's been plugged in and charging for that time. Unplug it. I should have some charge. I don't know exactly how much. We'll just click on this little button up here, see if this actually turns on now. So there we go, on. How much charge? Looks like I got just over 50%, so 50-60% in about 40-45 minutes. So going through this, first off, we'll see that this switch at the top. So we can slide this up and down, which is gonna be your dimmer switch or your dimmer dial. And this allows you to set up the brightness. So you can move brightness up, brightness down, depending on what you want. And again, this is depending on the mode. So right now we're in the CCT mode. This bottom one here is gonna change the physical color temperature. So you guys can see that change from more of a yellow tone all the way up to more of a blue tone. And of course you will see the actual color temperature on there. Right now it's 7700 Kelvin. You can go all the way down. So the lowest you can get is 2500. And the highest you can get, 8,500. But it does have that nice dial, so much nicer than just a bunch of little buttons. Now, if we click that set button, tap it, we have the HSI. So again, this top one is always gonna be your physical brightness. So as you go up and down, you'll be able to see that brightness change. And then the set button is gonna be changing the hue and saturation. So right now it's set to hue, hopefully you can see that there. And just so you guys know, on the actual dials, there's a little, almost like a little button. So you can push this here. And as you push that button, you'll see this kind of go through between the different options. So this is gonna go between hue and saturation. So I'm on hue right now, which hopefully you can see the reflection of the color on the table. It change as you go through all those different shades of colors. Here's a little blue. Let me go to more of a greenish color, but you can go through them. Then we can tap on the button where the dial is here, and it'll move down to saturation. Then you can tone that color down, which is actually really nice. So just realize there's an actual dial and a button. Now this button up here, I'm not sure if it does. Oh, so the button up top makes it jump in increments. So you'll see here it's 29. We'll tap down to 9, off, up, and it'll go up and down. So it spins down the intensity and then up the intensity. And it looks like it goes in about 20% increments. So a nice fast way to go through that intensity, whereas this is gonna go one at a time. So instead of you having to slide this crazy, you can just go click, 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 and off. That's handy too, I like that. Last but not least, when you go to your set, you'll go to the effects. And again, you will have the ability here to kind of slide through the different effects. So the main button on the side, the one that you push in and out, will go through the different actual main effects. So like, this is gonna be like a police siren, but inside each of those effects, you and I can actually go through, because they'll have an A, B, and a C version of each of them. So the dial will go through the versions of the main effects. And of course, if you hit this, it actually changes the effect. This is like a lightning, I think, right? So you get different kind of flashes depending on what you're looking for. That's really good. And it's plenty bright for you and I if we're looking at a light that's just gonna sit off camera. If this was here, that would have no problems lighting me up, filling in, adding some extra. Yeah, that's all right. I like that. That's very cool. And I love the fact that because this is all on the front, we have that access to just kind of be like, right? Everything is accessible from this side of the light. That's just the smartest thing ever. All right, I'm gonna turn this off and don't shine it right in my eyes, which is what I did because I'm an idiot. I love the fact that this is on the front and rear, so we have that ability to get it from either side. Fantastic. It does look like you and I should be able to charge this fairly quick. I got up to about 60% in about 40-ish minutes, so I think that's decent. I do like the fact that it is USB-C, which is great, which also means that this should have no problems running. Let's actually plug it in, because that's why it's open here. We can plug this in, and even when it's charging, you and I can turn it on, and it'll work while it's charging. So that's also a big plus. So we can have this plugged in or plugged into an external battery brick or whatever. And last but not least, this is fantastic. I love this because a lot of times you and I put this on our camera, and of course, even with the adapter, it ties up our one existing cold shoe. This lets us mount and have our existing cold shoe not taken away. So I can now put a mic or whatever I want here. Plus, because this sits off to the side, I can do a little bit of angle. So if I want it to bounce off to the side, I can angle it over there. I can curve it in. That's really cool, and it folds up super nice. Now, the only thing I would have loved for them to include, and it's a small thing, but it would have been super nice, and this is kind of nitpicking, is an Allen key that supports whatever Allen key size this is. You and I should probably have one of those floating around anyway, but if we don't, it would have been nice for that to be included, and I don't see it there anywhere, but again, that's kind of nitpicking. All right, guys, this comes in at about $69 US. I think this is a fantastic little light. Comes with a little case. You guys can throw that in your bag and you are ready to rock and roll. All right, my friends, I'm gonna put links down below to this. I think that's a fantastic little light for you and I, guys, especially if you love lights like I do. well worth it. All right, guys, links down below if you're interested. Of course, whenever you buy from one of our links, it does support our channel, so we appreciate it. We thank you very much for that, and we will see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and more videos coming up tomorrow. Later, my friends.